Next up, we are going to work on the big fancy plate for our main dish. Let's get the canvas ready for this too. First, let's create a new canvas, keeping the default screen size. Then just rotate it to a vertical position. Then turn on Drawing Guide and you will see the grid appear on the canvas. It seems a bit fancy, doesn't it? Let me just adjust this real quick. Select Edit Drawing Guide from Actions again. Then switch to the Symmetry tab and tap Options. Let's go for the quadrant to get our 4 even sections. And now adjust the thickness to 81% and set the opacity to 68%. Alright, I think that's okay now. After you are done with setting up the guideline, tap Done. Now that we have the guideline, let's start sketching. Tap on a layer and select Drawing Assist. It will show right here that this is an assisted layer, after which name the layer as Sketch. Let's start drawing our first plate. For sketching, I'm choosing a round brush in the painting section. With this light gray color from the palette. Simply draw a curved line right in one of the quadrants. It will automatically create a full plate shape. And instead of a perfect circle, I'm going for something fancier with a slight arch in the middle, like this. You can choose whatever plate shape speaks to you, okay? Just undo and redo it until you find a perfect one. I'm quite happy with how mine turned out now. Make sure to fill in any gaps between the lines. Next, drag and drop the color to create a solid base for our plate. The color drop might make things a bit messy, so let's clean up those edges for smooth lines. Hold down the Apple Pencil for perfect curves and adjust where needed. Perfect, that should do it. Okay, the sketch is done and we have our final shape. So let's work on the base color. So go ahead and turn off Drawing Assist. I'll also hide the background color to make our plate shape stand out better. Then create a new layer and name it Base Color. To paint the base layer, I'm choosing the Flair's Impasto 7 brush. We will go with the white color again, and the size is at maximum. On the base color layer, make sure to enable the clipping mask. Paint all over the plate with even strokes. Around the edge, work section by section, while applying more pressure to create depth and a bold-like appearance. I'll redo and redo a few times to achieve the perfect effect. This technique creates a concave look towards the center, giving the plate dimension rather than appearing flat. The brush's shadows create a beautiful texture that resembles rose petals when viewed from above. As we approach the center, gently smooth everything out for seamless blending, avoiding any harsh lines. Perfect. After blending, we have got these lovely shadows emerging naturally here and there. Don't you love how it adds such like a rustic charm? I love it. Alright, I'm going for something fancy. So I'm going to draw a decorative pattern on the outer border of the plate. Let's create a new layer and name pattern. On the pattern layer, turn on both drawing assist and clipping mask. Make sure there are two check marks for both options. And I'm using impasto number 2 brush. Then I'm going for this dark cayenne blue for our color. So I'm going to start with the lines around the outer edge. I think a brush size of 20% will work perfectly. Since the drawing guide is still active, we can draw on one side and it will automatically show up on another. Just go all the way around until everything is filled in. No gaps allowed. Okay? Next, let's create the inner border about an inch from the outer edge. Just follow the same curve to keep everything consistent. Make sure to fill in any gaps here too. You can easily draw over them like this. I think the brush size is a bit too big. Let's dial it down for a final line. I'm fixing some areas right now, here and there. Okay, let's lower that brush size even further at 10%. Now I'm going to add some designs on the plate, right between the edge and the inner border. I'll be doing some freehand stuff like flowers and random curves and shapes. So start with the stem and curl it a bit to make it fancy. Then we can add some petals and some leaves. Nice, I like it. Then just continue following the same motif on the rest of the border until we get a complete design. Honestly, you don't need to follow mine exactly. You can totally just whip up your own decorations and have fun drawing anything that you want. Okay? It doesn't need to be perfect. You can just make this plate as unique as you can. What's important is to fill up the space and to evaluate the look and make it fancier, like a serving plate in a high-end restaurant. One of the great things about impasto brushes is their chunky, textured lines, and they don't need to be perfectly refined. These textures create a lovely subtle style in the artwork. Plus, with the symmetry tool, we only need to work on one side while the other side mirrors automatically. It is super convenient, don't you think? Look at that! Doesn't it remind you of classic Chinese porcelain? Okay, now we have our beautiful base pattern. Let's head to adjustments, then hue, saturation, brightness. Time to make the color more vibrant. Adjust the sliders to set saturation at 40% and brightness as 51%. While the change might seem subtle, it adds just a right touch of refinement. Alright, so it's looking good, but we can make it better. Let's add some accent colors. So now let's create a new layer and name it dark blue. We are using the same brush for this one. We will paint our dark accent color on this layer, so select this medium blue color from the palette. Then let's zoom in over here and start drawing the same way we did a while ago. We don't need to cover the whole edge. Just a few spots will do. You can adjust the brush size depending on what you need, okay? Alright, so I'm just going to keep redoing this line to get the shape that I want. Then I'm going to add another one here. You can experiment with different line weights by changing up your hand pressure. This will also give an interesting effect on the design. We're not going for complete lines, just a long one that each curves and a few at both ends of the plate. After that, we are going to add some on the motifs. This will add depth to the designs so that they don't look so flat. Remember to apply this accent color sparingly, just a touch here and there. Too much might overwhelm the piece and hide the light blue underneath. These accents should enhance the design, not overpower it. Let's add another curve over on this side. Continue adding shadows strategically around the plate. Next, let's go back to hue, saturation, and brightness and set the saturation to 73 and brightness to 53. You will notice most of this accent color is at the bottom of the plate. Don't worry if it looks incomplete, just trust the process. Okay, now let's create another layer and name it light blue. We will add our final accent color on this layer using the same brush. And for this one, we will use this light blue color from the palette. Just like before, paint along the main pattern. Try to place near the darker accents when you can, but don't feel restricted. It can go anywhere along the plate's curves. Next, add some paint to the designs, and don't worry about perfect shapes. Just fill in the flower crevices and loops. The curls could use some color too. So you can get creative with this process. There's no right or wrong way. It's all about what appeals to your eyes. So let your imagination soar. Just play around. Let's add some to the upper half where we don't have darker accents. Quick tip, keep those lines and curves tidy. While impasto brushes are forgiving, we want to avoid messiness and uneven strokes for this piece. We are aiming for that thick texture to stand out while maintaining smoothness. Keep going around the plate, adding paint touches here and there. Perfect, that's looking great. Now, let's adjust the overall color like we did before. Head to Adjustments, then Hue Saturation Brightness. Set the saturation to 55% and brightness to 54%. Wow, that's one stunning plate. Amazing work, everyone. For the final step, go back to the gallery and rename your artwork plate. And there we have it, one beautiful plate complete.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like or leave a comment and subscribe to my channel. As a thank you, loyal subscribers receive a 10% discount on my Masterclass 2.0 for Procreate. Check the description for coupon code. See you in the next video.